It's your boy. I'm back with another video, and I don't know why I'm talking with my hands. All right, but nevertheless, I'm the best. I don't even know why I did that. I'm the best. Okay, so I got some Laker talk, Laker news. Let's give a standing ovation to the Los Angeles Lakers last night. They did something I thought they were not going to do, and that is finally get a W. They finally got a W. They defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers, even though I was having concerns about them defeating the Cleveland Cavaliers with no AD, no LBJ, and you got a lot of confusion and madness and don't be jealous when you're talking about Montrezl Harris, and when you talk about Dennis Scrotum, however y'all want to pronounce his last name. Anywho, particularly on what they found out, the Los Angeles Lakers organization, Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka. I'm pretty sure LeBron James put his blessing, particularly on these two players. And I already done, look guys, I already done videos on these two players. I was pretty much the only one in the room talking about the Los Angeles Lakers free agency. Everyone was, giving them their condolences. Everyone was giving them their flowers, talking about how they won the NBA free agency simply because Montrezl Harris fell in their laps because the Clippers did not want him. All right, he was like a scorned lover. He said, "Well, if you don't want me, I'll just go to your rival." So that's the only reason why you guys got him. And also, Dennis Scrotum, y'all got him through a trade. And everyone was talking about how the Los Angeles Lakers stole NBA free agency. They got an A+. And I was really the only one out here in these social media streets, okay, in these NBA circles that was telling you guys, you better pause on it because they're younger, they're athletic, but then that's all they're going to do as far as contributing. Plus, there's, these are the same two players that really didn't grow nor develop on their former team. They just basically depended on their athleticism. All right, they don't have well, with Dennis, his 3-point average is low. It's non-existent with Montrezl Harris, and he can't even stay in front of his own defender, so he's a liability on the defensive end. But I digress. Let's just move on to other NBA news. In other NBA news, James Worthy predicted that the Los Angeles Lakers are the front runners as far as getting Andre Drummond, okay? And that's going to have to be proven to me. In my opinion, I've been hearing a lot of talk about him wanting to go to the Brooklyn Nets. And when you talk about the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, as of right now, not what they did earlier in the regular season, not what they did in NBA free agency, not what the roster is going to look like when AD and LeBron comes back. But when you look at that roster, it has a lot of flaws, all right? And that roster does not attract other big name stars that are going to take a pay cut or going to take a buyout and sign with the Los Angeles Lakers. I feel like the team that everyone is trying to gravitate to is the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets is built for not only this season, but the next season and a possibility for a third season if everyone stays healthy, particularly their big three. All right. So you got that going on. Okay. So James Worthy is making a lot of noise talking about the possibility, I'm going to start getting my drive on, of the Lakers getting the front runners to get Andre Drummond's. Now, as far as Whiteside, no one knows. As far as oh, I forgot the other big man for San Antonio. Shoot, I forgot his name. DeMarcus Aldridge. He's probably going to go to the Miami Heat. That's where everyone, the powers that be, everyone is assuming where he's going to go. He's going to go east, young man. He's going to go east. I don't think he wants to continue playing in the West. I think he just wants a change of scenery, and he feels like going to the Heat is a good thing, which it is, and he will fit great, with the Heat. All right. So James Worthy is predicting that Andre Drummond is probably going to land with the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, to me, I just don't. To me, what I've been hearing, he wants to stay east. He wants to go to the Brooklyn Nets. That's where everybody wants to go to because they feel like the Brooklyn Nets give them a strong enough chance to win the title. The roster is good. The coaching staff is, we have to wait and see how that pans out. But at least with the coaching staff, coaching stands, because that's pretty much what they are. It's not like they're, commanding law and order and got the roster under an iron glove. They're player friendly. Steve Nash, Mike No D D'Antoni, his system with those two individuals is going to be a player friendly type of environment. Okay. And sorry for the rain in the background. It's storming like cats and dogs out here. I apologize. Okay. But let me show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. It's raining like cats and dogs out here, dog. So, yeah, basically, if you listen to, it's a player friendly environment, a friendly, and the league is pretty much player friendly. Okay, so all reports leaning towards him going to the Brooklyn Nets, and when I mean him, Andre Drummond. All right. So when if you look at the Lakers and you look at their options are very slim as far as trying to attract a third star. All right. They were trying to Rob Pelinka, mainly Rob Pelinka. I don't think Jeannie Buss would do this, but Rob Pelinka was really trying to trade Dennis and Montrezl Harris and KCP, and they was trying to make a trade with the Toronto Raptors for Kyle Lowry. Okay. To me, if they just offered either Dennis or Montrezl Harrell and KCP, that trade should have been done. Yes, it would have been a rental type deal where they would have had Kyle Lowry for the remaining of this season and the playoffs and hopefully the finals, and that's it. But he also wanted an extension with the Lakers. And the Lakers really don't want to be stuck with Kyle Lowry for 1 or 2 years. He wants a 2-year contract. And Kyle Lowry is getting up there, in age. Okay, I think he's a year older than LeBron James. A lot of people think Kyle Lowry is still in his 20s. This man is 30. He's I believe he's 34, 35. He's getting up there in age. It is what it is. Okay, but when you look at when you look at what they have on the roster, they don't have a third guy that can hold it down until Anthony Davis or LeBron James come back from injuries. And if they can just, ooh, damn, I should have kept my. Ooh, I saw that lightning, dog. They don't have a player that can carry the team until both. I feel like both of these players are going to come back pretty close. They're probably going to hold back Anthony Davis and until LeBron James is somewhat healthy, and they're going to probably have them both integrated into the roster at a later date, and they're both going to be there at the same time. Okay, so that's my opinion on it. I think that's the way they're going to go. But they wanted Kyle Lowry, but it was just too rich for their blood. Shannon Sharp talking about, the factor was KCP. The Lakers didn't want to give up on him. The Lakers are going to flip him regardless if it's this year or next year, particularly because LeBron James is going to push and scream for a third star. All right. Now they already Kyle Kuzma. He ain't the one. All right. KCP. There's you see glimpses and flashes and things of that nature, but he ain't the one. All right. You just look at that roster. They're gonna need and they're gonna need a third star, and they need to strengthen the roster to be more deeper with talent wise. So it's one of those things that the Lakers are kind of stuck in the mud, but they kind of created the mud around them. Okay, they gave up on their future. They gave up on the talent that they had already had on the roster. If LeBron James is supposed to be this guy that can make good players great, then he should not have any problem or any hesitation of what he already had on the roster. But he wanted Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis is a clutch client, and he was looking at the roster a different way. He was looking at the roster as what he wants to do with it. He wants to, he had so many factors and phases on how he wants this roster to work, but it made basketball sense, but it didn't make complete basketball sense. Lowry brought it to explain. They could have kept those players that, they could have kept on Alonzo Ball, which, by the way, his market is through the roof. Everybody wanted to make a trade for Alonzo Ball, and when Alonzo Ball becomes a free agent, half the league is going to give him a max contract. Okay, you heard this here first. A lot of people talking about, Alonzo Ball ain't done enough. He's not going to get a max contract. Stop it. He's going to get a max contract. When you look at Ingram has developed. Okay, ever since he left the Lakers, slowly but surely he has developed, and he's going to be one of those key players, and his star is only rising. It's only getting better. He's just developing in all phases. Okay, that's two players right there that they could have kept. Okay, but LeBron wanted AD, and they gave up their draft picks and their capital and their talent for AD, for a player who never stayed fully healthy in the regular season. Every season he's been in the NBA, he's always been out. He's always been injury prone. And that's the problem you have when you're dealing with, I don't know which card, anyway. So, that's the problem with the Lakers. Okay, so it is what it is. All right. So in other news, I don't know what that is. In other news, that's pretty much what's going on with the Lakers, and the Lakers are stuck in their ways. All right. And I don't know why my car keeps shaking like that. Okay. I got it in park. In Laker news, I lost my train of thought there, folks. That's what's going on in La La Land. So obviously, when the season's over with, when the regular season over with, and if they don't represent the West in the finals, it's going to be some household changes. They're going to need, and that's why LeBron James was focusing on trying to get Kawhi to pair up with him so he can have his own big three. It would have been him, Kawhi, and try to figure out a way to get AD over there. But I felt like if it would just, I felt like if it would have been him and Kawhi, they could have kept the talent that they already have, and still try to shoot for AD, but don't give up the moon and the stars for AD. All right, and yes, when they was in the bubble, they thrived on that. They was literally the only team that wanted to be there. Okay, at first they didn't want to be there, but then they wanted to be there. Okay, and I think that's got a lot to do with LeBron James. I think LeBron James should get kudos for that, because there was a lot of players that did not. And I told you guys, the bubble was made for veteran players. Okay, that's already established in their life. That's not bachelors. They have a family. They have a wife or a baby mama. They have kids. So this would be sort of like a vacation type of deal to them, but it would have been a business type vacation, and they would have been an older veteran ball club or veteran players. They wouldn't have to worry about going to the nightclubs like Lou Williams and all that. The players that wanted to go to the clubs and stuff and wanted to hang out, it was a nightmare for them. And they really half-heartedly didn't want to go into the bubble. And most of them simply did not go. All right. And unfortunately, if let me, I don't know what I'm thinking about. What am I doing? All right, hold on one second, guys. Let me. Alrighty, I'm back. I don't lost my train of thought. So, yeah, if the Lakers don't win this up and coming NBA Finals, there's going to be some changes, and one of the changes is trying to get a third star, a Bradley Beal type of star. But the problem with that is the Los Angeles Lakers don't have the capital. They don't have the picks or the talent that other teams may want that have a Bradley Beal type of player, because the Lakers are going to be competing with other teams that do have that do have those resources. The Lakers do not have those resources. All right. And that's the problem. That's what happens when you shoot your load and you give up the sun, moon, and stars for a player that has never has never played a full season. And what made it even worse for Anthony Davis, he sort of came out of shape. All right. So you have to pause for a second and think about that. Like, yo, we won the title and you come into training camp out of shape. Okay. Thanks for the thumbs up. So that's alarming and that's concern. Think LeBron and AD are done for this year. I don't think LeBron and KD are going to be done this year. And AD, excuse me. Let's start with LeBron and AD. You know, Rob Pelinka and the Lakers organization have been talking to LeBron about, shortening his minutes. But LeBron is trying to do this, trying to chase all these stats, patent stats like the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar scoring record, the double streak, and he's trying to stat pad, all right, and because he wants all these individual accomplishments so he can say, okay, I got the hardware, I got these stats, so y'all should nominate me ahead of Michael Jordan. He's still trying to chase the ghost of Chicago. Don't get it twisted or confused. That's why he's doing this. And the Lakers organization has been talking to LeBron about, if LeBron would have shortened his minutes, I don't think LeBron, now that injury probably would have still happened, okay? But the fact that he could just shorten his minutes, particularly on games that are winnable, would have been a blessing in disguise for LeBron James. For AD never had the resume of, starting and finishing the season without missing a significant amount of games. He did that with New Orleans. He did it with the Lakers the first year, and he's doing it now. Okay, so you get what you get out of AD. So that's why the Lakers are in scramble mode of trying to find a third star. So just in case either one of them goes down, LeBron's only getting older, and AD is still being injury prone. Okay, these things are going to happen next year. LeBron's going to be another year older with the risk of being injured. Okay, and AD is injury prone, so you're going to need a third star. Now with KD, I don't think KD, in my personal opinion, I don't think KD is fully healed from the injury that he suffered. And this is going on 3 years now. 2 years. Well, I want to say 3 or 2 years when he was with the Golden State Warriors. I think that injury, now, if KD was a smaller player, he probably would have been healed up by now. But since KD is a much more of a taller player, with taller ligaments and things of that nature, taller players, particularly stars, what star would go there? What star would go there? I'm gonna get on in a few minutes. I thought KD faked his. Now, he's almost 7 foot tall, and with that type of injury, it's like career ending for centers and power forwards. And that's what's going on with KD. I think it's taking a little bit longer. What star would want to go there? If you're talking about the Lakers, I don't think the Lakers have enough resources to get a third star. Otherwise, that third star would have been already there. But they shot their load by just getting AD. They gave up their future. They gave up their draft picks. They gave up all their talent, Steph Kuzma, and that's it. That's it. They don't have nothing that other teams would want, okay? And when they're competing with other teams as far as getting a Bradley Beal type of player, the other teams have those resources, have better draft picks that the Lakers currently don't have right now, and they're never going to have as long as they got AD and LeBron. They lost a lot of their future just getting AD over there, all right? And that's why Magic Johnson didn't want to give up the farm for AD. He was trying to get AD with less talent and less picks. And the New Orleans Pelicans said, no, you're gonna have to sweeten this deal, dog. And that's exactly what they did. So now they don't have nothing. Okay, now as far as Andre Drummond's, yeah, I heard what James Worthy said about Andre Drummond's possibly going to the Los Angeles Lakers. I really think Andre Drummond's he. I think he's more attracted to the Brooklyn Nets. Why? He's still in the East, and the Brooklyn Nets look like they're unstoppable. And he's probably thinking I could probably get a ring with the Nets and be done with it, and just try to find another team that's going to sign me to somewhat of a max contract. He's not going to get another max big time contract like he did, but he's going to get some money in the open market. All right. Now, the reason why I don't think he's going to the Lakers is because the Lakers just the Lakers do not look attractive nor appealing to go over there thinking that you're going to win a title with the Lakers. The Lakers got a lot of holes on their roster. They got question marks with Anthony Davis. They even got smaller question marks with LeBron James. We don't know what type of LeBron James we're going to get when he comes back from his injury. A lot of people seem to forget his first stint with the Lakers, he injured his groin. Now, next year he rebounded, was chasing, he was almost MVP of the league, okay? And people saying, oh, look, he's back to himself again. And I'm saying, like, yo, dude, Father Time has never lost a bout with any athlete. Eventually, when Father Time taps you on your back shoulder, that means it's a wrap, dog. And, I think LeBron can play in the league for, like 3 or 4 more years, but not at that high rate that he's trying to do right now. LeBron needs to shrink his minutes, shrink some of his responsibilities. That's why they got Dennis. Okay, now Dennis Scrotum, I don't see him getting $100 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers is laughing at that. That's laughable. That's why they was throwing him out in the trade market. That's why they was willing to trade him. Because hold up, guys, hold up. All right, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I heard what James Worthy said, but I just don't think that's a desirable place Andre Drummond wants to go to. Now, if the Brooklyn Nets don't want Andre Drummond's, which is going to be laughable, of course they're going to want Andre Drummond's, all right? Then I can see the possibility of him choosing the Lakers as a quick plan B. But from all what I'm hearing, Andre Drummond is going to sign with the Brooklyn Nets. All right. You know, he'll fit perfectly either or with the Lakers or with the Brooklyn Nets. But Andre Drummond is going to the Brooklyn Nets. I haven't heard any reports about him flirting with the Los Angeles Lakers. All right. I heard what James Worthy's saying, but and I heard what Shannon Sharp's. You know, Shannon Sharp is a fanboy. All right. Shannon Sharp really don't have the deep pockets or the deep connections, particularly in the NBA circle. Now he probably talks to some of LeBron James' friends, maybe LeBron James, Rich Paul, and all that stuff, all that jazz. But he doesn't. Shannon Sharp doesn't have the connections. Even though I know a lot of people hate Stephen A. Smith. Even though people hate Stephen A. Smith has connections. All right. Woj has connections. All right. I think Chris Broussard, to a certain extent, has connections. Okay. So when you hear them talk, you really have to pay attention to what they're saying. All right. Shannon Sharp, he's speaking from like a fan's perspective. Okay. He's a huge fanboy for LeBron James. Okay. I mean, if LeBron James leaves the Lakers and says he wants to play for the Detroit Pistons, Shannon Sharp is going to be ranting and raving, talking about, oh man, you know, they're going to win the title. They got LeBron James, LBJ. They're going to win the title. Detroit Pistons. They're going to win the title, boys. You know, that he's that type. He's a hype machine. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't hate the guy. I just call it like I see it. All right. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I got, guys. I'm gonna see if I missed any comments. Okay. See if I missed any comments. No, not really. I answered all those comments. I really do appreciate. Oh, and I need y'all to really support this channel by hitting the like button on any of my content. Also, if you like entertainment or anything like that, comedy or, you know, reviews, particularly on OnlyFans, I have another YouTube channel. It's I'm Christadon1 TV. So subscribe there, hit the notification bell, share the content with your friends, family, and followers. Do likewise to this channel. If you just love to see me on this channel, just do it on this channel. All right. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the content with your friends, family, and followers. I really do appreciate everyone that came by, chopped it up with me. A lot of people ask me on social media, who's your pick? All right. I feel like it's a no-brainer unless KD is out for the remaining of the season, unless Kyrie Irving retired from the NBA. You see all these thanks bro. You see all these things I have to say in order for the Brooklyn Nets not to win, unless there's a natural disaster, unless the coronavirus mutates where it turns us into zombies, unless the Titanic rise from the ocean. You see all this stupid stuff you have to say, and all this stuff has to happen if the Brooklyn Nets don't win a title. The Brooklyn Nets are going to win a title. They're going to win one. All right. James Harden is balling his ass off. All right. Clearly an easy candidate for MVP. Yeah. I don't understand. Look, the Brooklyn Nets is going to win the title unless something happens, something weird that's not basketball related, because there's no team in the league that can compete with their talent. Okay? There's no team in the league that can compete with two of them, with Kyrie or KD. All right? There's no team in the league that can compete with just those two, or Kyrie or James Harden. There's no team in the league that can compete with that tandem with KD and James Harden. There's no team in the league on the West or the East that can compete with that. All right, and they're on the verge of signing Andre Drummond. They already got Blake Griffin. Okay, it's a wrap, boys. If you don't like the Brooklyn Nets, you might as well just stop watching basketball, because they're going to win unless some unseen type of circumstances happen, like a blizzard, a natural disaster. If all three of those stars retire from the NBA or whatever, yeah, it had to be something ludicrous. You have to say something ludicrous in order for that not to happen. James being that third option. Yeah. The thing I like about James is, obviously, and even Kyrie Irving admit to this, and he even alluded to it. James Harden is going to be the guy that's going to have the ball. And I thought it was going to be the other way around. I'm gonna chop it up real fast for y'all before I end this stream. And even a player like myself can admit that I said some dumb stuff. Okay, so when they got James Harden, I was talking on my video a couple of months back about, well, Kyrie Irving can still play the point, but he's going to be more of a distributor. He's going to probably push the ball up court. KD is going to be KD, floating around the 3-point line or the perimeter line. And then the first thing Kyrie's going to do is kick it to James Harden. And James Harden's going to try to do his thing. And if he can't do it, he can always kick it to KD or kick it back to Kyrie. Kyrie said on an interview, no, James Harden is going to have the ball, and James Harden's going to dictate what he's going to do with the ball. Is he going to do his thing, or he's going to kick it to me, or is he going to kick it to KD? Is he going to kick it to other players? And I think that's okay. Kyrie surprised me. I knew Kyrie was a Kyrie is a point guard stuck that has that thinks that he's a 2 guard. And I didn't see that. I was looking at it from matchups and talent. Okay? I'm a fan of Kyrie for that. Yeah, he did sacrifice. But technically, I'm going to tell you the truth, dog. Even though I'm going to give Kyrie his flowers, even though I'm going to give him his respect, and I'm going to co-sign with you on that sacrifice thing, but in all actuality, that's really what Kyrie wanted to do in the first place. He always wanted to play the 2. So, it's not no real big sacrifice. He just understood from on a basketball level that James Harden can flourish by him being the point and letting Kyrie play the 2. And that matches and blends their talent even better. And KD, he really doesn't need the ball to score 20 points. He doesn't need to hold the ball 30 times to score 30 points. I mean, KD can just still be KD. Kyrie won a ring playing off the ball. That man can ball. Yes, I agree with you on that. Like I said, sometimes I can say some dumb stuff. And when they traded for James Harden, one of the things I said was how this is going to work. Kyrie playing the point, James Harden playing the 2, how it's going to work with KD. I mean, I had no issues with KD because KD is going to be KD. But just them 2 guys, I didn't think it was going to work because they're ISO players and they demand the ball. They have to have the ball in order to be successful. And I was completely wrong about that. I'm shocked. And yes, I'm going to give Kyrie his flowers. He sacrificed for the betterment of the team. But it wasn't like no big time sacrifice because it's really a blessing in disguise. He really wanted to play the 2 in the first place. All right. So it wasn't like no oh man, Kyrie, man, we should really be bigging him up, you know. But in actuality, Kyrie, it was really a blessing in disguise for Kyrie. Okay, it couldn't happen to more of a. It couldn't happen to any more than about. It couldn't happen to no other person but Kyrie. So I just want to just give. Yeah, you're right. We should give him his blessings. We should give him his big ups. We should say he sacrificed. But in all actuality, he was really doing. I mean, it was sort of a blessing in disguise for him. KD shouldn't play. I think he would. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna see KD until like close to the end of the regular season. You know, let him warm up. Play off the rust, sort of say, because they already. I mean, why rush him? They already are going to the playoffs. They already established, their seeding. There's really nothing for KD to gain to rush him back. And I think they're holding KD back. I mean, but I think it's more so of that injury, him being that tall, and injuries like that, it takes a little longer for big men to heal from an injury like that. So I think they're being cautious with him, and I think KD's being cautious with himself. Was the Knicks lucky not getting KD? Was the Knicks lucky? Damn, that's like another 30 minutes right there, dog. I feel like the Knicks, need a figurehead, one person that's going to make basketball decisions for the Knicks, not the owner, not the coach, they just need that one guy, okay? Because I think the Knicks got in their way when they was recruiting KD. If they would have just if they would have just gave KD the key to the kingdom, KD would be a Knick. And Kyrie would have followed after that. But when you really think about it, I think the best place for KD was the Brooklyn Nets. They had better assets over there, and they had tradable pieces that they can get. They can finesse a trade like a James Harden. All right. So I think that too was sort of like a blessing in disguise. But that's like another video, another live stream. But I feel like the Knicks, they always getting in the way of screwing themselves over, and that's what happened to the Knicks. So yeah, that's all I got for today. I really do appreciate everyone that came by, chopping it up with your boy. Be sure to hit the like button, share this content with your friends, family, and followers. I will holler at y'all in the next video. I will holler at y'all in the next live stream. Peace out. Hold up, one more thing. I'm gonna say one more thing. Knicks isn't KD's team though. Nets isn't KD's team though. I really think it is, dog. I really do think it is. I really think the Brooklyn Nets is KD's team. All right. How can I explain this? The Brooklyn Nets did something that the Knicks wasn't going to do. The Knicks was playing hardball with KD. You think it's Kyrie's team? I don't think it's Kyrie's team. Or maybe you're saying something else, and it's not resonating in my brain. But I think the Brooklyn Nets did something that the Knicks didn't want to do, which was Knicks most talented, much more talented, but Kyrie is from. You think Kyrie is the face of... Okay, you can be the face of something, but that don't necessarily mean that... Man, it's going to be hard to say this to make it understand. You could be the identity of something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're... I mean, you're the man of that organization or team or brand. Okay, like Aunt Your Mama. Aunt Your Mama is a syrup that's that resonated through, uh, worldwide. Okay, but Aunt Your Mama isn't. She's not the keeper of that company. It's the face of the company, but not the key of the company. I feel like Kyrie can be the face of Brooklyn, but I feel like KD is the true definition of the leader of Brooklyn. Okay, they can, and KD, he's kind of weird, dog. He's not that kind. He's not the type of guy that rants and raves, says, that's trying to chase clout or trying to say I'm the king of Brooklyn. He doesn't do all that stuff. I think KD is cool with Kyrie co-signing with him. All right, sharing the franchise instead of saying no. It's only one alpha and you the beta. All right, but I don't know. Maybe I explained it right. Maybe I didn't explain it right. But I'll have to holler at y'all later. Peace in the Middle East. I'll holler at y'all in the next video or live stream. I gotta get it. I gotta go. I'll see y'all later. Deuces, guys. Thanks for the likes.